You're about to listen to a podcast from the Firearms Radio Network. For more, visit firearmsradio.net.
Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 516. This show is brought to you by VZ Grips, Walker Defense, Primary Arms, and XS Sights. And in this show, we will be talking with Addison and Jeff from XS Sights. We might get to some other products to talk about, but you never know. And as you may know, we showcase guns, gear, anything else you might be interested in, which includes XS Sights. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. And I'm Chad Wallace. With me tonight, we have Tony, Rob, Rusty, and of course, Addison and Jeff. And first up, Walker Defense provides shooters with the finest, most innovative quality tactical accessories and firearm components around. From their Nile grip panels to their Nero muzzle brakes, no details are ever left behind. Only top quality materials are used in their manufacturing process. Together, all of this gives you some of the best firearm performance around. Everything they have to offer is proudly made in the USA. Walker Defense, where American ingenuity meets bleeding edge technology. Of course, our Walker Defense product of the week this week is the Nero 556, and that's thanks to Rusty because he wants one.
Yes.
And if you use the code Insider15, you will get 15% off everything they offer over at walkerdr.com. So now we're into the what we did in firearms. And of course, because we have guests, that means they get to go first. And Addison starts with an A, so she gets to go before Jeff. Did you do anything exciting?
Nothing yet. So, I mean, obviously I work in firearms, so that's every day. But this weekend there's a GOA Women's Day event that I'm going to be working, and hopefully it will be a lot of fun for the ladies that are participating there.
That's cool. Where is it located?
In Grapevine, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're in the DFW area, come hang out on Saturday.
Yeah, you can meet Addison.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's something. So that leaves you, Jeff. Same thing. You just worked.
Yeah, I just worked. Kind of cool though. We have a bunch of new products in the works, and then we touched on that a little bit at SHOT Show. But for the guys that don't know, lever guns were huge this year at SHOT Show, as they were the last couple of years. So we got some cool things in the works there. So we were able to actually go out and put some rounds down range, some of the stuff that we're working on. So can't just unveil it yet, but
we'll work on you later in the show.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe 30 minutes later down the road for more drinks.
That's right. You need whatever Rob's drinking, and then we might get the new products out of you. He shows water.
I'm just drinking water. I don't want y'all talking about.
Yeah.
I can make you a hairy, fluffy muffin.
I don't think I want one.
I don't think anybody wants one of those. Rob,
that's why I got kicked out of the Tropicana, because he was showing his hairy fluffy.
No, that could be the case. Rob, did you just work or did you make it to the range?
Dude, I haven't had a day off in 2.5 weeks, and I'm probably not going to have a day off for another week and a half. So I ain't done jack squat in firearms. But we're talking about XS sights, so you guys can probably see this, maybe not. But I got these sights in that are for my Desert Eagle. I don't have a drifting tool big enough to drift them out and in. So I got a friend of mine who's a gunsmith, and I'm going to talk to him about installing them. And I can't wait. These are nice. I can't wait to try them out of my Desert Eagle instead of those crappy sights that it comes with.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Rusty?
Yeah, I did some stuff. I run the Foxtrot Mach Ranch rifle, and put a few more, couple of hundred rounds through it, and that's about 400 total. And then I bought a new Mossberg MVP Patrol rifle today in 300 Blackout, which I'm very stoked about because I've been needing a new. I didn't need one, but I wanted something a little bit more compact to go in the truck for hog season this year that I could suppress. So that's what I've got today, and I'm just waiting to see what kind of optic I can round up for it. Or maybe y'all make any XS sights for that thing? There we go.
What kind of rail does it have?
Yeah.
It's got an AR-15 rail on the back of it. I'm looking at it here now. It's got fiber optic fronts on the top, but
You get some iron
anyway.
sights for that, dude.
Yeah, we can do something. There's always something we can do.
But no, I've been shooting that Versa 22 that I got with a can on it, and really liking it, and just shooting a lot of just different stuff in the high point 10 millimeter. I'm going to tell you guys, that thing just gets better and better every time I shoot it. I did not think that I would love it as much as I do, but my daughter has even taken it over, and she says, "Tell Uncle Dave I want one."
Nice. I'm laughing because I've been working on the review for the 30 Super Carry carbine. The high point, and that was the same way I felt. I mean, yes, it's a high point, but you shoot this thing, and you're like, this thing is a whole lot of fun. And Tony's told us that for years, anyway. But when you can just grab it and go shoot it, and do stupid stuff with it, like put a huge suppressor on the end.
Oh, I'm going to work on my Corgi review this weekend if I get some time.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And you got any more, Rusty? Now that I interrupted you.
No, that's it. I've just been getting stuff into the shoot and just been shooting a lot of stuff. And I want to put a new gun safe in, and I found 14 different guns I had stashed around the house I actually forgot about. So that's I found a bunch of 22s and single shot shotguns that I forgot I even bought in an estate sale that I finally got out and took out of the box. So
yeah, I need to. I need to start looking for a new safe, a new storage solution or something, because mine's starting to get so full I can't put anything else in it. So
this is number 4. And it's full already. So
you just got to get more gun safes, Chad. That's all that is to that.
Well, I mean, I know it's just one of those things. It's like, what do I need? What do I want? Where am I going to put it in this room? Same kind of thing. I kind of didn't do much this week. I went to the local gun show just to go see people I know, see a couple listeners, just because I happen to run into them and they're local. But besides that, I just go hang out with people I know. I did get in the Lucid Optics, their little E7, which is an acro-based blue reticle, which is kind of cool. I was like, the reticle.
That would look good mounted on my rifle.
Well, I put it on the Foxtrot Mike rifle they sent me. I just liked, I was like, I'm going to try this blue one out. I mean, I know it's the same size as others and pretty much the same thing, but the blue reticle is what got me. So it's here for review. I'll get to it eventually.
Now, how does with the TISM? How does that work out? How does that look?
It really no.
No, we go through the slide.
That caught me. Sorry.
Well, see, the thing is he's talking to me, so we're not sure if it's the astigmatism or just other types.
Because green works out better for me because I found out about 3 years ago I have a astigmatism. And because I said, these red dots are not worth it because they're not round.
They're not clear.
It's like, it's like a fuzzy peach up there, and the next thing I know is like, everybody's like, no, you got astigmatism. So when I looked through a green dot, it was clear.
Right.
And then I seen that blue and I was like, well, where does this fall on the spectrum?
It's with mine. It's a circle dot with some lines in it, reticle. It's not an actual dot. You can't get it. But for me, the blue seems to be about the same as green as far as how it works for me. And green is clearer for my astigmatism than red. It does flare out, which kind of makes the reticle a little muddy. My astigmatism in my right eye is better, which is my shooting eye, than my left eye. My left eye, it's worse, so it makes it more fuzzy. It does flare out, but it's not. I can still make out the reticle, the dot in the center, and the 32 MOA circle. So we'll see. That's all I have in that. Tony, did you have a diversity shoot, or was that the week before?
The diversity shoot was the week before. I actually ended up on Gun for Hire Radio, so that was
my big thing over the weekend. So a lot of people contacted me, including a lawyer, to help set up the 501c3. So that was pretty cool. And I was feeling pretty jealous, but I just got this package when I came in from work from Manticore. So they just sent me their new Manticore Maverick Ambi Safety for the AR-15, which has a whole bunch of different sizes. That you can
Wow.
use. Yeah. So Sven, he called me up or texted me. So it's set for 60 or 90 degree safety throw and over 500 lever combos. So that's pretty cool. And he said he gave me a few of them so I can actually raffle them off along with Manticore patches and stickers. So
Sweet.
thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be putting those on one of the guns along with that trigger there I got from Paul. Yeah, Paul over at
Foxtrot Mike.
Foxtrot Mike. I'm going to contact him with my FFL info. So hopefully he'll be sending me out a ranch rifle soon so we can have that a diversity shoot, because that slides past all of Jersey's new, the new anti-assault weapons stuff, because it has a Monte Carlo stock and, doesn't have a pistol grip or a bayonet launch. So it's no evil features. So it's much safer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much safer than an AR-15.
Exactly.
I got to write a letter to all the manufacturers of firearms I have, because mine are all defective, because none of them got up and went and killed anybody lately. So something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
All I know is this, bro. If I'm ever in a hospital, I want my doctor to fight for my life as hard as that ATF agent was fighting that Glock. Just meet the threats. Oh God, man! I was cheering for him. I'm like, oh, you almost got it, almost. Oh my goodness!
The dollar.
Yeah, he's like,
that. You almost got it. Yeah, I was like, oh, I almost got it. It's like you got to slide up. It's on the rail. No.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So, our bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. As you probably know if you listen. Don't forget about their Patch of the Month Club. Once a month they'll send you an awesome patch. I have not got the March patch yet with, the leprechaun and the skateboard, but it's coming somewhere.
I got it.
Well,
I got it.
It takes a long time to get stuff to Oregon because I don't know why.
It's uphill.
Did he live like next door to you?
No, he's in South Dakota or something.
It's like right next door.
That's next door, right?
That's next door compared to Tennessee.
No, it's about the same distance.
It's like because Rusty doesn't own a map.
That's true.
I live in Jersey, which everything that's not Jersey is like must be close together. It's just far away from me.
Yeah.
I drove to South Dakota in one day, so I know how far it is.
Yeah. It takes me the same day to get there or to Tennessee, or it doesn't matter.
I hope never to drive to South Dakota. Nothing about that sounds like something I want to do. Ever.
Well, see, it takes so long here because
terrible.
Because when you go, if you drive that far from where I'm at, you got to stop at Glacier National Park. You got to stop at, Mount Rushmore. You just got to go to these places while you're on the way there. But,
because you'll never drive by them again for no other reason.
Exactly.
It's Mount Rushmore. Hey, you know what we should do in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota?
Blast a mountain.
Blow a mountain in the face. Blow a mountain up in the face of a president, like a couple presidents.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay, so Rob.
So Chad,
you want to take this as normal?
Yes. Is it my turn to say the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers? This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And our main topic for the evening is going to be sponsored by Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms. They have over 13,000 products from your favorite brands, including a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearm parts, and shooting gear. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service, fast shipping, and an expert support team. Don't forget to check out the Primary Arms line of optics, too. And our Primary Arms product of the week is our Primary Arms SLX-RS10 Red Dot. Why can't they name their stuff normal stuff? And remember, to find everything you need, head over to Primary Arms firearms.com. Wait a minute, don't we have a discount code or something?
For Primary Arms? No, we don't.
Yeah, I thought we had like a code or like a buy something and get a free.
You might get a free mount if you buy an optic, I think is how that works.
Let's talk about some XS sites.
Yeah. See, Primary Arms, XS Sites gives us an awesome discount code, but hey.
Awesome discount code free. Oh, wait, no.
Primary
Arms
is really good to us too, so I can't say too much about it. But yes, the main topic is XS Sites. And we have, as you've learned, we have Addison and Jeff on. They both work there. I don't think Jeff's worked there as long as Addison, but I could be wrong.
No, Jeff is the new kid on the block.
He's the new kid on the blocks.
So, did you find XS Sites or no?
No.
You're just employees, right?
They're
okay.
Just employees.
See, and so we're going to ask them the hard questions, and anything you guys want to ask them, feel free.
Well, we have a really tough time expressing our opinions on this podcast. So just be prepared for it.
Kind of like
Let's get deep, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is more for the listeners, and
is that what you're saying? I call BS.
Probably. And either one of you can take these questions. Some of them I'm gonna get into both of you, but XS Sites has been around for 25 years, or according to what I've heard. How did they get started? And then you can move into how did you come to work there? So whoever wants to take it away.
I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, XS has been around for over 25 years. We started in 1996. We've gone through a lot of different name changes. So we started out as like AO Sites, I think, Ashley Outdoors, and eventually made our way into XS Sites. But what it was Ashley Emerson had this really cool idea that he wanted to make these express sights that were for African big game hunting rifles, and adopt that platform onto a defensive pistol for defensive situations. So our Big Dot the Eye express sights were born. Our ownership now is the Pastusik family, and Ed Pastusik was like the machining man behind Ashley's big idea. And eventually Ashley left the company, and like I said, we've evolved over those 25 years, but that's kind of where it all got started.
That's
okay,
good.
so what does XS stand for? Is it just, you like the term XS Sites?
Express Sites, is that what it literally stands for?
Express Site Systems, that was one of our names, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Shorten it.
Because you see XS, you think extra small, and it's like, I don't think that. Especially for Desert Eagle sites.
We should have named it Extra Large Sight Systems, or Big Dot.
Well, then we just call it Tony.
Wow.
No, that's not Tony sites. Tony uses real man-sized sites.
Yeah. So we got to pick on Tony.
Pull up those Magnum research sites again, Rob. Talk about big.
Yep.
These are nice and big.
And you got one of the Big Dot ones too, if I believe right here.
Mm-hmm.
We can make.
I can't wait to get them on the Desert Eagle.
Yeah. Show those again, Rob, since you're on the screen. So if anybody's watching, they can see
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
That's a little reflection off the light up there in my hanger.
Yeah, but we can still see it. We can still see it. There we go.
I mean, and they're nice. Is it night in the dark? I can actually see them with the tritium or whatever the insert is.
Yeah.
So whenever you really want to make a statement, if you have a home intruder.
the Desert Eagle with
Desert Eagle to outlaw gun matches and runs it just because.
First interaction I had with XS Sites was I took a class over at Tactical Response, one of the Jane Jaeger classes, and they suggested XS Sites. And at one point during the training course, they took your handgun away from you, and you had to use somebody else's. Well, I had the instructors, and he had those on there. And it was like when I pulled up and I presented the gun, I was like, "Damn, that's big." And it was, I mean, because you're at 3 yards. I mean, it just like covers the chest. It was there. That was probably 4 years ago, something like that. So that's the first time I'd heard of them. So, but they were really nice.
Last year was the first time I actually used them. Last year was the first time I used them. I heard them, of course, because James Yeager was a big XS site dude. But I was at Train and Learn, Kevin Dix's Train and Learn last year, and I was flying in for the first time. I'd never flown in. I always drove in, so I had my own guns. Well, I flew in and I did. So my boy Clayton from Pivotal Defense was like, "Hey, I'm driving. I'll bring a gun. You can use mine." So we get to the class, and we're driving out, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, here's my Glock." And I go to a friggin' speed performance class with Barber Solutions. I think that's the name of it. I'd never even got a sight picture until I'm in the class and I have to draw and put 3 rounds on target. I'm like, well, this should be damn interesting. It's like I never even dry fired the gun. I never even looked at the sight picture. I'm like, whoa, this okay.
And
so for what it was good.
For those that know Tony, that's typical of Tony.
Yes, it is.
It's like, here's a gun, and somebody gives him to take a class, and he's like, okay, it's typical Tony.
It's like giving a homeless man a Big Mac box. He's like, here you go. What's inside? I don't know.
Hey, listen, I've installed optics on my gun at a competition and zeroed it during the competition.
Or he installs the sights, the optics, then goes to the competition, and when they're not even, and doesn't even zero. And he's told us stories about that too. So.
I've shot a pistol class with what do you call it? What was that? The black powder? I was reading the directions on how to load the revolver at my table during the competition.
Awesome.
Nothing scares me, dude. There is zero performance anxiety in my world.
Yeah.
We'll get through it.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's I want to talk about the machining process.
Oh, you got to wait, Rusty. We got to get there. You got to wait for me.
Okay. I'm a machinist back in my day there, So.
I know. I'm curious too. But we're going to ask these two, how did they personally get into firearms? Did you was it just a passion? Did you get a job and got into it that way? Were you law enforcement and said, hey, these are cool? Either one. Jeff, you want to go first before Addison?
Yeah, I'll take it. Very long story short, my dad was deployed with one of the co-founders of Triumph Systems. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yes, I know they're the swinging targets systems, and the exploding packet.
The bleeding ones.
Yep.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. And I got done playing college football, and I was looking for something to fill my time. And the owners over there were like, "Hey, why don't you just come over here and do marketing?" I'm like, "Hey, man, that sounds cool. Like, I'll go shoot guns and do some cool stuff with some cool guys, Jared and Justin over there." And
play football, might as well go do something.
Yeah, especially something cool like shoot guns and do all that, targets that bleed, and hang out with a bunch of dudes. It was really funny because whenever they first started, it was the guy that was bringing me in. It was between a super cool design firm that was like really high end, doing stuff for like Budweiser and stuff like that. Really cool glass offices. And he was a co-founder there too. Or he was like, or you can go work for this company called Triumph Systems that was literally like 4 dudes in a 2-room closet. I'm like, I want to go over there. So I hung around with those guys for 5 years, traveled the world with them. It was an awesome opportunity. They're doing some really cool things now in the digital space, making some training programs. So definitely go check those guys out. All the love in the world to those guys. But had an awesome opportunity to join XS Sights back in October. And take on some marketing responsibilities, and it's just been absolutely tremendous. The innovation and everything like that is bar none, and they see where stuff's going, and then they are making things happen for those individuals in the space. So that's kind of the long story short how I kind of got into it. Been around the industry forever, and once I had the opportunity to officially get in, I was like, all right, here's my chance.
So is that
nice.
I was going to say,
you do guns beforehand?
Go ahead.
Before
college,
before going to work for them, did you grow up shooting, or hunting or anything
Absolutely.
Like
So I'm an Army brat. So I've been around for forever, and then it was just kind of one of those things where Dad was always around the industry as well. So I always
Good
knew
deal.
that eventually I was going to find my way here. It was just the timing.
I gotcha. I
That's
gotcha.
awesome.
Yeah, first time I saw the Triumph system targets was, oh man, this is probably 6-7 years ago in Nevada. I went down when Axelson Tactical had one of their things. This is probably before you worked there, and
I was there pretty soon.
right. And you, I mean, if you remember that shoot, you might have been there.
Yep.
There. You remember the kid that got shrapnel in his head?
I do not. It might have been either me or Jared was at that shoot.
Okay, it might have been Jared because that was my son.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, everybody remembers that. Everybody that was there, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know who I know who you are." So
that's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Addison, you got a good story too.
I think it's good. I mean,
Hey,
I grew up in rural Texas, so I'm from the Panhandle originally, and so my family, not huge into guns, but we, did some dove hunting and quail hunting growing up, and it wasn't until I was 17 started dating my current boyfriend. His family was into whitetail deer hunting, so that's kind of when I started shooting more frequently and really being interested in going outside and shooting guns. And then, worked in marketing, worked at an agency that did like in-store signage for Whole Foods and Albertsons, and got really bored of that really quickly. So when Excess Sites position opened up for marketing, I was like, yeah, this seems like a cool opportunity to learn something new and be in firearms in the outdoor industry. So it just worked out really well, and I've been there almost 5 years now. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask how long you'd been there, because I think you're the only person I've dealt with over there until Jeff got hired. And that was probably about when I was like needed something or wanted a set of sights for something I was building or something. Probably it's like, hey, these look cool. I want to try them out. And I think that was about the time you guys started making standard notch and post sights, because I wanted, because of what I was doing, I wanted a standard notch and post. And you're like, hey, we're making these now, and I'm like, okay, I'm in. So
being a sister state of Tennessee, being Texas, what do y'all carry? What do you run?
That's a good question.
I like my SIG P365. I also have a SIG P320 that I keep in the car.
Rusty gives the 320 a thumbs down, but he's trying to build one
too. Don't worry.
Hey, I don't know how you guys are going to take it. I'm a Glock fanboy, so I'm running the 19. Yeah. Okay, it's the Legos of the gun. I got our F8 sights on it, and then I got the Holosun on it as well. So,
everybody needs a pimped up Ford Escort.
Yeah,
exactly.
My normal carry, as these guys know, is a car CM9. Single stack, super tiny, pocket gun. So I basically carry a smart car. I
carry a Glock 42 a lot of the times, and then I carry a King Cobra the other time.
Yeah.
So it's like I go from one extreme to the other.
But I'll help you out, Jeff. If I know, like, if I have to go to Portland. You've heard stories, which it's I carry usually a Glock copy. Just
I have more Glocks than anything. So Glocks are they're like the utility knife that, like, you break one off, there's another one there.
That's
break
right.
One off, there's another one there. I mean, they work.
Yeah.
Jeff and I Yeah, Jeff and I both got to get our Glock Armor's like certification this year, and
That's awesome.
I have a new appreciation for Glock because before I was like, this is the big honking thing that gives me a blister every time I shoot it, and now I'm like, man, there's something really cool about those guns.
Have you taken the SIG 365, the
Fire
control
control.
system out of it yet? I lost it.
No.
I dropped a spring out of there. It took me 2 days to put it back together.
Yeah,
I was in our gunsmithing room with a few of our engineers, and they were going through it. he was getting so frustrated. I'm
Yeah.
like, how many pieces are
One
there?
spring on the back.
And then you look at a Glock and you're like, oh, it's got a couple flat springs in it, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a good go.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of those guns that I grew up on, so it's super hard to transition. Like, it's just one of those things that I'm comfortable with, and I'm sure eventually, if I have more opportunities to shoot other firearms, maybe I'll switch. But I don't see any time switching anytime soon.
Yeah. And
Get
Addison,
the chance. Get you a yeet cannon, man.
The old YC9.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna get it wrapped in like dollar bills.
Well, you get the-
$1,
Yeah.
not the hundreds.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you ask Dave over at High Point, they might have a picture of Tony in a bubble bath.
With
Okay,
everybody
he
has
actually does.
everybody has those.
Everybody has that. I gave that to Dave. Matter of fact, I have a picture of Dave with that.
That's hilarious.
I was gonna say, Addison, have you do the like Glock 42, 43s or fit better than the big huge?
I need to try.
Okay.
The 17 is what I was thinking of whenever I speak of the blister incidents. But I just need to try it. But I like my 365.
Well,
It's comfortable.
I understand that.
Up until 2 months ago, I carried a 365 for the last 4 years religiously, either pocket carry or inside the waistband. And the only reason I stopped is because I put an optic on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought a Glock 42 because I had to get a little bit more concealed with what I was doing. And so the 42 was just fit perfectly for me. So, but yeah, I've got a SIG 320 and 365. The 320 doesn't. I don't shoot it well at all. All the rest of my firearms I shoot well. The 320 I cannot whatsoever shoot that thing for some reason. The 365 is fantastic.
Which,
320 I have a hate relationship with.
The
Yeah.
Tony,
the
you were
320,
nodding your head. Is that the same thing for you?
the 320 is hot garbage until you put a bunch of money in it. it's like the base model is garbage. It's just everything feels yucky about it. It's modular for a reason. You have to change everything out to make it worth shooting.
That's why I have a Wilson's Combat XS grip sitting in there on the gun shelf. I haven't even touched since shot.
Yeah.
And my hand is so big that it dwarfs that 365 that I just wrap all the way around it. So I have to concentrate so much to shoot it well that it's not worth it. So, I mean, I shoot a Glock 19 that looks like a Glock 26 in anybody else's hands. And I have to have the, magazines in it from Magpul. Because without it, my pinky hangs completely off the bottom of the Glock 19.
And got it. Can't get a good grip on it.
Yeah.
So what was that?
To be fair, my 320 is secondhand, and it does have the slimmer grip. It does have an upgraded trigger, so
I
see what you're saying.
It has to. It has to.
And it does. And I bought a bone stock 320 a few years ago, just basically to get stuff to review because so many people have 320s out there. And so essentially it is no longer, everything's been upgraded on it. And then I was like, okay, so then I bought another fire control unit because I had extra parts laying around. And so
you had a whole extra gun laying around.
So basically, I had to do that. Now I shoot the 320 full size really well. I shoot it better than, my Glock copies. I don't know if I shoot it better than this Ross Martin. That thing shoots pretty well for me. So, but I guess we should get back into you guys. try to make it easy. You guys kind of answered what made you guys want to work for XS, and that was pretty much, you guys answered that question for me. So now I know there's only a few places that tritium actually comes from, because I'll preface this for the listener that I think everything you make, you can get in a tritium option, or I don't even know if you make a standard sight, except maybe in an AR.
We do make a few,
Okay.
very select few that don't have tritium.
Okay.
But it's a shotgun sight here, and like you said, an AR sight there.
Or the
a
lever
lot
gun
of the
stuff.
lever.
Yeah.
Okay. But
How did y'all get the tritium? Did Doc and Marty McFly go back in time and get this, or what?
Yeah, back in the 1950s.
Yeah,
stolen
yeah.
from
Yeah,
one of the radioactive.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
but
The flux capacitor. I don't know if you've heard of one of those.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was real. But in reality, where does it come from? Where do you guys get yours from? You know, do you have the license, or does it come already encapsulated?
Yeah, so it's a very regulated process because
Right.
it is radioactive, right? And to go too far into it would be kind of speaking out of turn.
Right.
I'll be honest with you guys. But it does come pretty ready for us to pretty much what we need to do for it. We install it in the sites and we're good to go.
Okay. That's and that was more so. I didn't know if, you know, because it, like you said, it is regulated. If you're the ones putting it in the little vials or something, that's way more than I figured you probably did.
Thank God we don't
like-
do that.
Yeah.
It's like what happened with asbestos, man.
You-
We're
yeah,
going to get those commercials in 20 years if you worked at excess sites.
that's
No. Do not say that.
yeah, exactly. So on the next
You'll
question,
be working for Daniel Defense next.
oh man, that hurts. So the next question leads into that is, so you guys insert it into your sites, which basically you kind of answered, it comes how you need it and you just insert it in. And I'm assuming, like most places, it's probably epoxied in to some extent or something to that effect. And you don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's pretty proprietary, but yeah, we have proprietary mixes that we use for different site pictures and different sites that we have. All of it's a little bit different, and obviously the different colors and all of that, all proprietary, but it's pretty much the same process all the way around.
Okay.
It's actually it's pretty repeatable, obviously. We have a couple guys in the back that are just rocking these things out hands-on every single site, making sure everything's good and quality before it goes out the door. So it's pretty cool to kind of watch that process from getting raw material in from our manufacturers, and then seeing the finished product, all because somebody in-house has touched it.
Right. So that leads
I do have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Rusty.
Okay, so when I look at the site, you have the external diameter, and then you have the little smaller diameter, and they're the same color. Is that two different pieces that are swedged in or pressed in together, or is that?
Say that
actually
again.
like
So you have the two different. So that is actually two different. I would say
Tubes.
materials. Correct.
Okay.
Because you have the material that's quote unquote the glue, and then you have the tritium.
Yeah, because it looks like there's two different. Like there's an inner and an outer. Because I was looking at the
Yep.
pair ordinance
Right.
side, basically.
That, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
Hold that back up, Rob. I'll make it large and we'll try to explain this. Like the site Rob's holding up is one of their sites, but inside he happens to have the orange ring, and then inside is the tritium green vial. And I think that's what Rusty's trying to explain.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I
Yeah.
didn't know because I was looking at yellow on yellow, and I was curious
Yep.
if that was like two different pieces or if it was like one piece that was machined. They just actually took
No.
a tool and they went there and whipped. So that was
No,
just
that's what I
curious.
was holding up. The orange site's not even tritium. The tritium's the insert.
Is the orange
Correct.
on the
Yeah.
ones like Rob have? Is it photoluminescent or only some of those?
It
No,
is. It's
it's-
photoluminescent.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
do you guys want to explain the colors you have in the photoluminescent quality
Jeff,
property?
you want to go into there?
Yeah, it's funny because this is something that I've been tackling, which is kind of cool. So the way that we kind of did it, and that's everything that XS has done, and I've kind of found that from joining the company and kind of really getting into the history and like, why are we doing this with our products? Like, why do we have green, orange, and yellow? Why do we have these colors? And it all has to do with the color spectrum and how your eyes see different colors under stress. Because we all know under stress, everybody sees through straws, right? Your vision narrows. There's a lot of different things that happen to your body whenever you actually have to draw your firearm and put a round down range. So the reason that we have the green, the yellow, and the orange is because those are the easiest lights to pick up whenever everything else is going to hell. So the green is super easy to acquire in the night. Obviously, if you guys hold those up, it's super easy to see. But it's also super nice to see in daytime. And it's the same thing with the orange and yellow. It's just in different variances and in different ways that your eyes see them. Because like you guys were talking, Rusty and Chad, earlier in the podcast, you were talking about the blue reticle versus the green versus any of that. It's the same thing. People's eyes are so different. So what color you need is gonna vary. Obviously, I can sit here and tell you that I like the green the most just because my eyes see it the best.
Yeah, and like me having various sets of them, I prefer the orange.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I should say because of most of the shooting I do is outside, that's why I prefer the orange. But if it's inside, then and dark, the green actually is a little better for me. So it's kind of there.
Like that?
Yeah, and Rob right now is showing, he's holding up. He turned his lights off so you can see.
Yeah, the webcam kind of sucks.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, the tritium inside it. Now, if you were to take a flashlight and shine it on the orange ring, it'll then glow itself if you have one there. But if not, hey, you got it.
Well, and that's another thing you guys were talking about. There's different. Obviously, people are going to choose sights for different reasons. Chad, you're choosing yours for shooting outside. I choose mine for self-defense.
Yeah, and
the reason that I choose that is because 70% of self-defense scenarios are going to happen at night. That's just a fact.
In low light. Yeah, exactly. But of course, they all still have the tritium insert, so you still see that also.
Correct.
And yes, and actually the firearm I gave my son has a set of the R3Ds on it, and
nice.
They're green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that's, he's like, hey, originally when he moved out, he was like, hey, you got a gun I can have, or you're going to make me buy one? I just kind of stared at him. I'm like, yeah, you can't take certain ones, but what do you want? He's like, that was what he chose. So, it is. It is.
I tell you what, I keep going back to is the minimalist sights.
Mm-hmm.
Because the name in itself just it's what I'm used to is the blacked out rear, the front glow, and I run some on my Walther that I have, and
nice.
they're not from y'all, sorry, but they're the same style. I was trying to get there, but that has always been like the biggest. When I seen y'all's, I really liked that. That's why I was looking at them a minute ago to see if y'all had them for my Walther Creed. But I really like that style side, minimalist.
Yeah, and it's been something that's kind of picked up recently too, because the industry is moving towards red dots. We've seen that from whenever the tier 1 teams are getting that, everything kind of trickles down from those guys. But having that blacked out rear sight doesn't distract your eyes if you're trying to find a sight, but it still allows you to have that notching post if that was to go down.
Yeah.
So how long does a tritium typically last for?
Around 12 years is the half-life.
Okay.
At 12 years, it's going to be dim enough that it's going to be questionable whether you really see it or not. At XS, we do offer a 12-year warranty for the tritium, so we'll replace it.
By that time, my grandkids will have it by that time, so they can worry about it.
There you go.
and the thing is I've actually, I had a trade-in Glock once years ago that had tritium sights on it, and I don't even know whose they were. And this thing was old, and you could still kind of make them out, if it was really dark. And I know they were way past the half-life.
A lot of times you don't. They will last past that, and really the reason we have that warranty is every once in a while somebody's going to get a bad vial and it's only going to last 4 years or something like that. So you want to take care of those people, but for the most part, it's there.
Well, and
it just has to be dark.
Yeah, and the thing is the price of tritium sights compared to what they used to be like when I started shooting. I'm old, so has come down so much that you pay $120 or something for a set of tritium sights, and it's not like the $350 they used to be years and years ago. And so the price that you get is okay. So it's been 10 years and you want a new set. Okay. You're not going to cringe to go pay $100
on the market.
Yeah. Or you're like, oh, they're $120. I'll just go buy another set, and by then you're probably carrying a different gun anyway, or at least most of us are.
So I got a question. So going back to the beginning, I asked this question at SHOT Show to Rob, but I was like, how come there's so many fire manufacturers in Florida? And he said, probably because of the taxes. Why? I've noticed there's a lot of manufacturers of firearm parts and firearms in Texas. Was that a Texas-born company?
It was, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're right there in probably like 10 miles from where the owners, where they grew up, our current owners now, second generation family-owned business. And so, yeah, their whole family's in Fort Worth. Fort Worth is actually got a lot of manufacturing facilities there. So something about where we are and what we do there, that there's a lot of different industry there and manufacturing that's going on. We have, our Excess, our little internal team there. And then right next door is our sister company, which is our machine shop. So we're CNC machining the sights and some of our tools and all of that. And then we also have a bunch of Swiss lathe machines in there too. So they work in primarily for, excess, and then in oil and gas and medical.
So Rusty, you go.
I come from the medical and oil and gas industry. Is what I've been doing for the last 15 years, working offshore. And then I was a machinist before I did that. So that kind of all rolls it up one ball for me right there.
So that kind of answered your question about the machining process they use.
Answered my question.
Yeah,
sorry.
No.
Kelly likes to say that we work in the three most difficult industries to get insurance in.
It is.
Well, it's kind of cool too, like having that background that HT or our sister company that has in the oil and gas and the medical side. It makes everything that we are doing on the firearm side so precise and durable, and just everything just kind of carries over, and it's super cool to see them going from manufacturing something for a really high-end, super expensive machine in the medical industry to making some Glock sights. It's just a really cool process.
Yeah, you go from when I started out in the oil and gas field 15 years ago until now, it's been like going from the Stone Ages up, and the firearm industry has progressed the same way too. And the medical field is every year, if you're not completely changing your tooling and your machining, from, orthopedic stuff to heart valves or whatever you're doing, just for saying, I don't know what you're doing, but, you're not staying up with it. And you guys really are, because I didn't realize y'all provided, I just thought y'all did pistol sights until I actually looked on the website, and I was like, man, they really do a lot of stuff. So yeah, I mean, y'all guys are keeping up with it.
So
it's something we need to get better about advertising, but yeah, we offer a whole lot more than pistol sights. We just love talking about the pistol sights.
that makes sense.
I think with the advent of the tactical lever action, I think that may take off, because you guys are working with doing that. Like I have a Henry Big Boy Steel, and I can't figure buckhorn sights out for crap. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love buckhorns.
Yeah, of course you do. You fall off of horses. So my whole thing is, I can't shoot it. I tried, and I love shooting stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like, not good at it. I'm checking 38 rounds down range, trying to be better at this thing, And then it's like, yeah, but for like $70, $76, I can get ghost ring sights and be done with this crap.
Yep.
Works for me. Sorry.
Now, you are machining from everything from your pistol sights to your AR sights. That's all done in house, right?
Well, next door.
Yeah.
Well, within the company, that's in house.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't care if you
Majority
got,
of it. There's like
Yeah,
a very few little one-off things. The one I'm thinking of specifically is there's those AR flip-up sights that we have, and it's a Samson base, and we machine the sight, rear sight body and the front sight body that goes into those bases. Otherwise, pretty much everything is coming through our machine shop.
okay. That's what I was asking about next was those because I'd like those. Those are pretty nice. I haven't seen anybody else's sights that look that they glow up like that because I have an AR9 that I built. I have a polymer 80, and 80%. I have a mill machine in my garage. That's how much I love machining. So it's not a polymer; it's a steel actually. And I machined this thing, and it took me quite a while to do it because I was really precise about it. And I think I talked to Chad for a long time about why I couldn't get fire right for a while. And I finally it was just a few thousandths off, and I finally got it dialed in, and I love this thing. And I want to take the optic off and put some flip up sights in there because the tuckability factor of being a truck gun is what I'm wanting for. And I seen those today, and I was like, them would be really nice to go on there.
Yeah.
We might know a guy, Rusty.
You might know a guy.
I mean, like you said, at nighttime, most stuff happens at night, and it's usually within 7 yards or so. And with an AR pistol, that gives me a little distance reach out, and those things glow. Even that much better. Give me a little extra distance if I can step back and run for cover because I'm not going to stand toe to toe with you. I'm old. I will run and hide and take my chances.
Assuming
how it is.
Assuming he hasn't just been bucked off a horse or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And he, we were talking about the 365 earlier. The 365 survived him getting drugged down the road with a horse.
Yes.
so
yes, and it's still running.
That's right. So that all these kind of lead into other products besides handgun sights. What do you guys offer? I know what you offer, but
yeah. So we do like we were talking. We do the AR sights. We have sight pusher tools for Glock. I can neither confirm nor deny if we're coming out with anything else that possibly may be universal.
Rusty.
The lever gun stuff, like I touched on. Yeah, Rusty. thought I should toss that one out there for you.
Yeah.
And then also the shotgun stuff. So we do a lot of the pick rails for the shotgun stuff, and then ghost ring sights. And then we recently launched our kind of getting more back into that hunting side, a universal vent rib replacement dot. That's a little bitty. I say a little bit. How does
that stake in?
Yeah, so the kit itself comes with 3 different beads because across different models, there's about 3 average thread pitches in all of these shotguns. So it comes with each one of those thread pitches, and then it's just a reverse lock kind of pin design. So you just press fit it on there, a little bit of Loctite, and it's not coming off.
Okay, that's because he was telling us, the engineer was telling us, you just stick these things in, and I was like, okay, I never changed my own shotgun. I didn't know, so. That was
and what we found, it's super easy, and it's not going to like move or get caught on anything. Some of those fiber optic sights are like 2 inches long, and it's just obnoxious. Or if it's cloudy, it's not soaking up the sun that it needs. We found super great success with these sights.
Nice, and then of course you guys make rails and for lever guns, and I think you make them for just about every lever gun out there nowadays.
We're getting there. That's slowly climbing, especially with everybody launching new ones out. A lot of them are common, so there's a lot of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I was looking at that because I was thinking that because the rail is inexpensive, it goes on specific. You put that on, and then you can throw the iron sights on. It's going to have a shorter, what do you call it? Shorter
Sight radius.
Sight radius. It's going to have a shorter sight radius, but it's there and it's not that damn buckle. Sorry, dude. It's so
It is what it is.
I don't even know how it works. But it's like I don't know. It's like math. I don't know. It makes my head hurt. But I can throw a red dot on it, and now I have a compact, slim lever action that can chuck 357 magnums out to about 30 power within household distance.
Yeah, it's tremendous, and it's so versatile too. Like I forget where, I think maybe it was at SHOT Show. I was talking to a few of my friends about lever guns in general, about like why they're blowing up now and everything. And one of my buddies from Firearms Policy Coalition, Cody Westnewski, he was like, well, it's because of all the laws that they're passing. People in Illinois or California or whatever can't have a regular AR, but they can have a lever gun that they can put tactical stuff on. It's their new AR. So personally, I don't see them going anywhere. I think they're just going to grow bigger. Especially like you were saying, Tony, it's just a massive influx of stuff for lever guns, and I'm excited. I like lever guns. I think they're cool.
I mean, you're just as fast. I would say just as fast. You can be really fast with a lever gun. Somebody got onto me for saying lever.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine who would have done such a thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got numerous of them, and I love them. And most of the guys that I hunt bears. If you look on the wall, there's a bear head on the wall right there.
Nice.
But, most of the people that we hunt with lever guns, and they're between anywhere from 357 to 4570, and we got some 3844s and some 3240s and some odd calibers from way back in the wind, but. They prove themselves and they work, and all you got to do is be forceful. Jack it one way, slap it back the other. I mean, it's just like a good Saturday night. So
yeah.
You'll never fear more like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, and
Rusty really falls off of horses.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm getting a scabbard made for my high point 10 millimeter.
Why not? Get that bullpup chassis for it.
Well,
I've already tied a rope to it and made an anchor out of it. And Dave sent me an email.
Yeah. And now the real question is do you think we can retrofit some excess sights on that thing? I mean, it's got a rail, so we can always use flip ups, but
yeah, you can do the flip up AR sights on it. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe they won't.
I was actually looking at stuff. What's the AK sights look like?
That's a good question.
The tritium front sight with that white dot. And it's kind of basic AK sights, but we added that glowy part.
You added the glowy part. I like that.
You got all technical.
Yeah.
About your GAT. I'll come about your GAT a little bit.
Yeah, I love that thing, and that's something that we've want to get more out into it. So it's a glass assault tool for anybody that's listening. I thought it was just kind of a cool, clever marketing thing that we called it our GAT. Gator needs his GAT. Thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, exactly. So it's something that either goes onto an A2 flash hider or onto your pistol mounted light. And there's a little piece of metal on there that acts as a glass breaker. So what we found is law enforcement, whenever they get into scenarios, whether they need to punch out a windshield, whether they need to bust out any piece of glass in a house or anything like that they need, they didn't want to take their gun off of their shoulder to do something that they need to, and then that's time wasted, right? Let's do something, because a lot of guys were just banging their barrel onto something anyway. So let's add something onto that. So that's kind of where that GAT process kind of came from.
Okay. That makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm guessing we're not going to do an excess sights ad for you guys since you are the show tonight. But
this is the ad.
You get the whole show this time. Now, I mean,
check them out. They're awesome.
I am going to throw in that if you use the code GGR20, you will get 20% off most stuff over there at excesssites.com. Of course, as it basically it's sites. It doesn't cover what like those sight pushers and a few other things, but it covers sights. That's all you need to know.
I do need to know one thing before we go on to the next topic, but I'm a FN fanboy, and I know you've got some FN 509 sights. Do you make anything else? Or are you thinking about making anything else, like the 5.7 or any of the FNX or FNS series? Or can't talk about it?
Those are tricky for us. So
Okay.
it's some that we've looked at, and I don't want to lie to you, but I feel like I'm channeling our engineering team when I say that those have been very difficult for us.
Right. And that's probably why nobody makes the bloody things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. But at least, Rob, they're working on them. I did have one kind of weird question for you guys, just because what's the most obscure sight that you guys have ever made or that you know of?
Yeah, so there's some guys that have been with the company for forever, and that's one of the questions that we like to talk about in house because it's kind of cool stuff to talk about. The thing that went straight to my mind was some of the movie guns. I'll let Addison talk about some of the other stuff, but the movie guns that we get to work on is super cool. So at SHOT Show this year, we featured the John Wick Chapter 4 lever gun. So what we did there is worked with the guys over at Mad Pig Customs. They make awesome, beautiful lever guns. They're fantastic. And we sent them the sights that we had for the gun, or the rail, and it didn't go all the way down the barrel. And they sent it over to the director, and the director came back to us and like, hey, this isn't cool enough. We're like, oh, okay. So what we did is we actually did a small batch kind of production run of a rail that runs all the way down the barrel, and that front sight's actually recessed down into it. Functionally wise, it's a terrible set of sight. It doesn't function at all, but it looks cool. And rule number one is always look cool. So, and then
did you look at him?
Always look cool.
Did you look at him and go, now, Precious, this is not going to work?
Yeah, exactly. As we hand it over, John Wick's like, we'll see about that. As he slaps. But
that's the inside
movie
joke
guns,
if y'all didn't catch that.
I caught it. But
You caught it.
I caught it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Totally caught
Wow.
it.
I'm gonna have to get the lowdown on that.
Yeah. Well, that's probably
You're a little young.
Okay.
That's probably for the better. We'll tell you off air, and you can look it up.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the movie guns, and then working on the some video game projects. We were on Battlefield Hardline. We're in a couple of other video games like DayZ. We have our offset sites on those. It's just kind of cool to kind of see work on projects with really cool people and see that on the screen or play with it. That's kind of where I come from in terms of what I think is like obscure and kind of cool what we do.
I wouldn't call the Magnum Research, the Desert Eagles, obscure by any means, but making those sites this last year was really a lot of fun. And one of my favorite things about it, we went to a range day back in like October or something. We had tons of people stopping by the booth, so excited about these Desert Eagle sites, wanted to, take a picture with it. Oh yeah, I'll be back to shoot it. No one shot it. No one was man enough.
Rob and your engineer.
Really?
Rob and your engineer, I thought was going to go out on a date. I swear. They were holding
Rob,
hands.
we can still make that happen.
By the time they were holding hands over there looking at these sites.
I'm not lying. The engineer was a pretty cool guy. I don't even remember his name.
Hello, John.
I'm having a bite moment right now, I guess.
Yeah.
So, y'all make sights for the Cobra, which is a 38 special. When you're coming out for the sights for the King Cobra, which is a 357 Magnum, there's a little difference in there. It's just for the velocity factor of it. Or does it matter?
We got you covered.
You get it. You got me. Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
Got something for you. Yeah.
All right,
Cobra and King Cobra just recently launched, so.
I think we put it as your product spotlight in one of the ads on a day Rusty wasn't actually here because he was out saving lives or something. It might have been last show.
Yeah. So I work 24 on, 48 off, and so it's like there's like every third show or so, fourth show, I'm out. So
Paramedic.
yes,
Yeah.
My
So
brother-in-law lives that life.
25 years.
yeah.
You've probably seen a lot of shit.
That's why he drinks on
Maybe
Mike
that's
like
what-
water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's why I'm on like number 8 right now.
There's
I'll have to bring over some screwball. And we'll have to have some stories.
Yeah.
you have to figure that out. Yeah. Beer and screwball.
I've spent enough time in Sugarland, Texas. DFW is just a few more hours away. This 6 hours?
Just a
I'll
few.
come on over. Yeah.
Just a few.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
That's right.
Well, I guess we're hanging out at SHOT Show next year.
Listen. I run through the deserts of San Antonio for a while out there with immigrants when they were coming across the border, taking them over there to the little tent cities so they can get, Anyway, that's another story.
Rusty's got all kinds of stories, and most of them involve, something not very smart.
Yeah.
Like falling off horses, but
That's funny.
And stabbing pigs to death in rivers.
that's right, because he did bring his gun.
You guys keep dropping these little hints of all these different stories, and I'm just like, I'm writing a list, Rusty. I'm gonna hit you after this.
Yeah.
So I put the headphones on my son, who's 10, here a couple of shows ago. I was like, tell him the pig story, Brody. Tell him the pig story. He's like, so Daddy went into the river, and I was right behind him, and the pig stood up, and Daddy just stabbed him in the neck, and I was like, stab him again, Daddy. So.
After he crosses the raging river, it was pretty fun. So I'm going to ask, I know you just released the high power sights for the Springfield Armory high power. Do they work on other high powers, or is that questionable?
They do not.
Okay.
They don't. You could probably force it, but it
we
wouldn't regulate.
We don't want to force stuff on a jewel like a Gerson.
That's
A Springfield, I will hammer it on there with a ball peen hammer all day long.
But see, if you pressed
Gerson,
it,
no, that's delicate.
If you pressed it into a Gerson, by the sounds of it, it's got a smaller dovetail. So what would happen is the Gerson would just like mushroom out because it's soft metal.
That's why we have a file.
That's right. That's exactly right, Rusty. That's why we have a file. See, Rusty knows.
That's why we have a file.
But on that, recent products that you guys have released, I mean, some of them, like you said, the King Cobra and something. What are some of those?
Nice.
Yeah, well, Jeff mentioned the shotgun sights that we have, the universal vent rib kits. We just launched Smith & Wesson set of minimalist sights for their K and L frame revolvers. There's, let's see, CZP-10 R3D 2.0 sights that are newly available.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was checking out the Smith sites already because I have a Smith L frame.
Nice.
You guys going to do anything with Bursa? I see you have one Bursa sight for the Odor BC9, I believe, but they had that competition model they have out, the TRP9XT.
That's Rusty's new. I think Rusty's going to buy one.
I'm buying that next week after the horse.
Nothing currently in the works, but it's something we could add to the list.
Well, my question is, so like I see you have TSOS sights. Now, are them for the TSOS? I haven't looked at them. Are them for the TSOS 911 or that for their striker fired?
That's the Duty PX9, I believe. And those are kind of fun because those and then like the Taurus GX4, some of the Walthers, they all take Glock sights.
Yep.
So that one is just a free kit that we already make and sell a lot of, and
good deal.
So that's kind of how that one shook out for us.
Actually, I want to talk to T-Sauce about that.
I have a Walther.
Go
ahead, Tony.
No, go ahead, bro.
I have a Walther Creed, and I tell you what, it's probably one of the best shooting pistols I've ever had in my life. To be a hammer-fired pistol and to be the cheapest Walther that they've ever made, I think. And that Creed, I put a set of sights on there, the blacked out with the fiber optic front sights, and and that thing is just fantastic. And I didn't know. I don't know much about Walthers because I haven't shot any others or dealt with any others besides this one. Really, I didn't know if all their sight bases are the same.
Yeah,
So
that's one thing that we really have a hard time with different manufacturers. If they would kind of standardize those dovetail cuts and just make everything really the same across the board for all of their pistols or lines, it would make our lives so much easier.
Especially,
We've been preaching that about red dots for years.
Especially in the 1911 market, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
But nobody seems to want to standardize.
While we're talking
I was
about
surprised to see y'all had paraordnance sights for the GI model, the paraordnance GI model. I mean, I used to have one of those like umpteen years ago. So,
what were you going to say, Jeff?
No, nothing. You talk about those two World War guns, and well, those are we're working on it. I'll say that sooner rather than later. We're trying to get them out there.
And I understand it. Yeah,
so
Rob.
You guys don't make anything for the Smith & Wesson end frame yet, do you?
Not yet.
44 Magnum.
In frame? No, not yet.
That's the my 44 Magnum. I think it's a 629.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, like I have a Rock Island 1911 that I'd love to change the sights on. But it's the same type of deal. It's like, it's kind of, a standard cut, but not. So it's like, I'm stuck with the sights that are on it, which, I don't shoot it that much anymore, but it works for what I use it for. And it's like, sometimes it's kind of fun just to shoot it, but I'd like a better set of sights. But it's like, I could probably make something work and file the dovetail so it'd work, or the sight itself. But I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's like the Versa Thunder. That's why I was looking. I seen Versa. I was like, oh, let's see what they got for the Versa Thunder, and it's for the Versa, whatever it is, the BC-22 or BC-9 or whatever it is.
Right.
So
now, one last question that I have, and I know you can't talk about all of it, but is there any new products coming out that you can talk about?
Jeff, do you want a hint?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Pawn it off on the new guy.
You guys are soon to be the ex-new guy.
Yeah, exactly. Freelance Jeff King next podcast.
That's right.
No, so we got a lot of cool things in the works. Like I hinted at, we're trying to do more of those side pusher stuff. Obviously, the Glock one did so well. People thought it was super simple. That we're like, okay, let's apply the same logic and try to do some more stuff. To kind of get into the lever gun stuff, I'll go ahead and kind of say, because we did talk about it a little bit SHOT Show, didn't we, Addison?
Yeah, we did. I think you're okay to say it.
Yeah, for sure. So we're getting into the handguards. Obviously, everybody's there already, but we're putting the excess spin on it and making it a little bit more modular. So obviously, we'll launch with the super common ones there first, and then we'll kind of backfill from there. But that's honestly the project that has got me super psyched. And then we're doing some more stuff. Like I said earlier, the industry's going towards dots. So we're going to start playing a little bit more to cater towards those guys as well.
Nice. Do you guys have any more questions for Addison or Jeff?
what material are you using to make the sights out of?
That's a good question. What steel?
Yeah, what steel? Stumped you.
You stumped them.
4140, 4150. Yeah.
You know we don't know, so you can tell us anything.
You know, 02. You know.
60. I can't remember.
She's getting closer. No.
I might be talking about our lever rails. Our lever rails are aluminum.
They're probably 60,
Rusty,
61.
this is one of those things that came from Marty McFly and Doc that we can't really talk about.
We'll talk about it. Proprietary. Smart move, Jeff. Proprietary.
Finally, we stumped him. Good job, Rusty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to ask. Look, when y'all showed pictures of y'all of sights chucked up in a lathe, I was like, man, these people are like put their machining up there. I've got to ask about their tooling. She mentioned the Swiss lathes. I was a Mazak guy, and I run Haas. I used to program G code. I manual machine a lot of stuff. So I was like, I got to ask. So, it's one of those things.
You're asking the marketing team, so.
Yeah. Right. I can get you to answer
Not our
that question.
area of expertise.
You got to pimp yourself out. So you've got to know if you're going to put this stuff out there, you got to know everything.
See, now the next podcast they go on, they'll be like, somebody will be like, what steel? And it won't even be ours. It'll be like, they'll go on some podcast. Somebody will say, what do you guys make those out of? And they'll just rattle it right off.
If you go and we like shooting, somebody's going to get violated.
No, they can't.
Like, I'm glad you asked.
Right? Good question.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, hey, informative.
Yeah. Now, biggest question of the night is where do they find excess sites?
Well, you can find us at excesssites.com. We're on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube at Excess Sites. Search us on Google if you want to. You'll probably find us there. But
no Twitter X account yet?
Nope.
No.
Staying off of that.
Couldn't find 'em.
Right now.
Yeah, I couldn't find them either.
And Facebook has been giving us the same kind of love lately too. So we're like, ugh.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, we all know how that goes. Well,
excess sites have been manufacturing sites for over 25 years.
it's Rob.
Excess sites
Rusty's stealing your thunder. No, Rusty's confused. He had too many of those whatever peanut butter beers are.
Listen, I've just been, I've been drinking the twisted tea, so I'm good.
Yeah. But we want to say thank you for coming on. We're not going to get to the product discussion tonight. You can stick around for a few minutes, listen to what Tony has to say. Rusty's got his favorite ad that he gets to read because, I don't know why. I haven't figured out, a lot of their grips, you could put on a handgun and you might even find colors that match those sights, those excess sights. Yeah.
Rule number one is always look cool. Remember?
That's right. And how do you look cool, Rusty?
If you make them in dirty olive.
Well, okay, keep going. He probably it's Rusty.
Okay. Oh yeah. So VZ grips have been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003 with a reputation for quality, consistency, and innovation. Top tier manufacturers choose VZ grips. They come in a variety of styles, patterns, colors, and are manufactured from proprietary G10 micarta and carbon fiber or polymer, available with a varying degree of texture. VZ offers a wide range of grips for all different firearm types. Made in the USA, VZ gives you the grip you can count on. Feature grip of the week is the Brain High Power VZ Recon. And you know what? I think y'all just come out with a VZ, or not the VZ, but with a sight for the high power.
But it's the new Springfield high power.
It's the Springfield high power.
Yeah.
Uh,
hey,
those grips should work on a Springfield.
I think they will.
Yep. Yeah, Springfield was smart enough to make an actual clone.
Yeah, close enough clone. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say I was going to use the term bastard, but nobody's going to say that today. But anyway, these grips are great. They come in, they're very textured and they're black, and they have. I like the black gray, really nice, and the earth brown. But anyway, if you want these grips, you go to vzgrips.com and use our coupon code GGR15 and get 15% off your handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com.
And for Addison and Jeff, the VZ grip ad we always give to Rusty when he's here, and almost always he messes a word up. And
it's funny.
It's like, and it was kind of like the first time I had Tony read your guys' ad, the Excess Sights ad. He hadn't ever read it, so it was off the cuff, and he was stumbling. And so you guys we read the ads. They're not. I don't push a button. You get them read, so you get all kinds of good stuff with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a cold read.
Comedy.
a cold read of trying to say trinium. Like, what the trinium? What?
Yeah.
And you
While
can
we're
see what
talking
these
about-
guys
Yeah. Go
mess
ahead.
up my disclaimer every time I'm not on the show.
Yeah, we do. We do. What was that, Jeff?
He's
That
Florida
disclaimer was
man.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, while we're talking about VC grips, we actually just partnered up with the new Lipsy's exclusive Ultimate Carry. I don't know if you guys have got to
Nice.
check that out yet, but that's got our sights on it and it's got VC grips. So, and they're fantastic. They're killer. They're awesome.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I have some on my King Cobra. Oh, they're beautiful. God, they're beautiful. If they just had excess sights on there, it would be the ultimate carry gun.
Well, and
Lipsy's Ultimate Carry. You gotta go check it out.
Yeah. We
I
talked.
wonder if they make something like that. Huh.
We talked about Jacob Gray 2011-ish the other day, and they put your sights on them. I think they're the minimalist ones. Now, that brings me to one question that I did have. So the difference between like your standard height and your suppressor height, I'm assuming they're different on each gun model, but is there like an approximate, like they're, 400 thousandths taller, or?
It really varies.
Okay.
Um,
Gun to gun. Jeff, do you want to add anything in there?
No, and that's another thing is like it definitely varies, and it's also taking into account what kind of optics are available for these certain different types of guns, and that's why it varies so much.
Okay, because like if they use a plate system, or if they're mounted direct,
or if they can't use a plate system or any of that, it really varies due to just the demand of what everybody else is having.
Okay, and since those heights, I didn't see them on the website, so if they email you guys, you could actually give them a number.
Yeah, we can make, and we can check. We have most everything common in house that we can even like set up a basic gun and then see if it's going to fit.
Okay, because I have one of those Ross Martins in for review, and I just mounted my spare hollows on it, and of course it needs sights. But I was just curious how much taller, like off the slide, like the R3D 2.0 suppressor heights are, then and I couldn't find the number anywhere, and I'm like, I know somebody that could find out for me, but I figured I would ask the question on the air and see if you guys knew, or if it was just kind of varied, and that was a good answer, so I'll accept that for now.
Yeah,
I'll do better next podcast.
Are the Smith & Wesson 2.0 sights on the 9mm and the 45 and 10mm, are they the same dovetail width?
Are they the same
The Smith
site
& Wesson,
number? M&P 2.0.
It's the 45 and the 9, you said?
Yes, because the 45 and the 10mm are the same slide, same dovetail cut. I didn't know if the 9mm, if they're the same sight that's on there.
Kind of.
I never thought about it because I have suppressor sight heights on my 10mm.
Yeah, I think it is. I need to look at the website to be totally sure.
To be sure. It's kind of.
I can't wait for Addison to snap on us after the show and go, what part of you talking to the marketing team don't you even understand?
I'll record what she says in her office tomorrow and send it to you guys.
Okay, that works.
That's fine.
Hey, if
That's
y'all
when
can
the real
request-
shit talking starts.
if
Y'all can request a show when I'm not on here.
if we can, and when you send that soundbite, that'll be awesome, because then I can put stuff to it and put it on the internet. Don't worry, we don't put stuff on the internet that makes fun of people like Tony.
Oh yeah, we never put stuff on the internet that makes fun.
I just put stuff.
I did confirm it's the same.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
She probably emailed she probably texted the engineer or something, and was like, "Oh no."
She has him in private chat right now.
Uh-huh.
She texts Rob's boyfriend from Chatsville.
Yes. Well,
Lover boy.
yeah, exactly. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. We also appreciate your sponsorship.
Yes.
That helps us
Very much.
basically get to SHOT Show and buy ammo. So Hey,
It helps you buy ammo. It doesn't help me buy ammo.
well,
I ain't got shit from you.
I've always said that Rusty ammo. Yeah, right. No, I can't afford to ship that stuff anywhere. What are you talking about? Yes.
Yeah, I was talking about Chad, not y'all. Chad. Yeah.
But yes,
Guys.
we have a little wrap up. So if you want to stick around, you don't have to we won't kick you out. So you can talk to us after the show if you want. But now we don't have any listener feedback. So Tony gets to tell us about his diversity shoots.
The next second is for everyone diversity shoot. It's still scheduled for Gun for Hire range. I think it's April 22nd. But I'm working on other ranges. I've been really busy with a lot of different things since coming back from the Ambassador Academy down in Florida. I mean, it was one thing after the other. We did SHOT Show, did a Great American Outdoor Show, and then I flew out to Florida for the Ambassador Academy. So I've been busy pretty much the entire month of February into January. I am going to work on 2 new ranges in New Jersey this year. Plus, I have to set up the schedule for the rest of them. So hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have a total of 5 ranges in New Jersey. We're running diversity shoot set every 2 weeks. Got some bad news the other day. We no longer have an ammo sponsor, so we're looking for an ammo sponsor. I may break it down to even doing calibers, and we can just have ammo sponsors for certain calibers if it makes it easy on people. But that's what we're doing, and if you want to help us out, I also have our Patreon back. So if you want to listen to the Second is for Everyone podcast, 2A4E podcast, you can donate to our Patreon. That would help extremely. And you can also use our PayPal and all our other ways you can help us out, because we're going to probably have to buy ammo if we don't have an ammo sponsor. And with events every 2 weeks, we burn through about 2,000 a month, 2,000 rounds a month. So we need all the help we can get. DiversityShoot.com. I look forward to another great year, and hopefully we can kick this off, get some sponsorships, become a 501c3, and travel more and get these things across the country. So, as always, thank you. 9 years deep coming on this show, talk about diversity shoot, and I appreciate all the help, all the kind words from everyone for the work we do. Thanks again.
And Tony, maybe our friends over at Target Barn can help you out. We'll have to see. They're the ones that sent some ammo, to help out with some of these reviews I have. So maybe they'll step up for you too. We can hope. We can hope. So
I don't want to go back to stripping.
We don't want you to either. I mean,
can't handle much more of this.
So send us questions, comments, or you're probably definitely going to send us feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere. We really appreciate it. You can visit the Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. You can see reviews, links to affiliates, discounts, link to the actual podcast, show notes. They're all in there. Check us out on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll get notified if, of live shows, or if I decide to post some video of me doing fantastic, speed steel runs. But,
it's fantastic. Yeah.
Exactly. And as always, don't forget to check out our great sponsors, including XS Sights. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
FC didn't kill himself.
This podcast has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. For more, visit firearmsradio.net.